Well, it looks like it's time to talk about the Manson family again. Quentin Tarantino's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood rewrites the history of what happened with the Manson family murders in August of 1969. Here we see Cliff Booth talking to members of the Manson family that have come to kill him and Rick Dalton, who is played by Leonardo DiCaprio. In a moment, you're going to see Cliff Booth's dog attack Tex Watson. Tex Watson just delivered his famous line, I'm the devil, I'm here to do the devil's business. Here we go. And the dog attacks Tex Watson. In order to understand this scene, you're going to need a little background here. The Manson family was a group of young people in their late teens and early 20s living in the desert in California, a couple hours away from Los Angeles. And the leader of the group was named Charles Manson. That's how the group got its name. But none of the members were related to each other. Manson was a convicted felon who was apparently charming enough to put together this group of young people and convince them that he was some kind of god. He often called himself both Jesus Christ and the devil at the same time. So you figure it out. And the members of the Manson family were young people from very broken homes. Most of them were girls. And they served more or less as a harem for Manson and whatever other young men happened to be in the group. Eventually, Manson figured that he had so much power over these young people that he could get them to kill for him, and he turned out to be right. What he did was he ordered 4 people from the group to kill everyone in a house rented by Roman Polanski and his wife Sharon Tate. Now, Manson chose that house because another man used to live there, a man by the name of Terry Melcher, who was supposed to help Manson get an album produced with the Beach Boys. That deal never materialized. Surprisingly, Manson is someone who did have musical talent, but that deal never materialized. He went to Melcher's home, had an argument with Melcher, an angry argument, and left. Now, he was aware that Melcher had moved out and that Polanski and Sharon Tate had moved in, but for some reason he didn't care. He just told his group members to kill everyone in that house, even though he knew Melcher wasn't there. And the people who happened to be there were Sharon Tate and a group of her friends. So Manson ordered these 4 young drug-addled hippies to kill everyone in the house. One of them, whose name was Linda Kasabian, couldn't bring herself to actually kill anyone, so she stood guard outside the house. The other 3 carried out the murders. The person who did the most murdering was Tex Watson. All right, back to the movie. And what's happened here is that Quentin Tarantino, who produced Once Upon a Time in America, has rewritten the ending here. Instead of the murders taking place in Terry Melcher's home, what's happened here is that the home next door is the one that the Manson family members have broken into. But instead of doing the murdering, they turn out to be murder victims themselves because the people in the house defend themselves by killing the would-be murderers. And those people who defend themselves are Cliff Booth, who's a fictional character, as I mentioned before, Rick Dalton, another fictional character, and his wife from Italy, yet again another fictional character. And the purpose here, I believe, is that Quentin Tarantino, he has this tendency to take important stories in history and then rewrite the endings so that they feel better, they feel more just, and that's what he's done here. He's trying to represent the difference of the old Hollywood, the difference between the old Hollywood and the new Hollywood. We have Rick Dalton, who was primarily a star of westerns. He was a kind of tough guy. Uh, that kind of persona was popular in the old Hollywood, and in the newer Hollywood, we had younger people and the themes of the movie were very intellectual and they were very deep and emotional. So that's the end of today's analysis. If you liked it, then please click like, share, and subscribe. Thanks very much.